Right. So if you are still not sure, this is your chance to get back on the horse, okay? So first thing I do is I enter that into my calculator. I already did that. Is this in general form? Yeah. What's so special about general form is that the y-intercept is given to you by that last number. So I'm going to go straight to y-intercept and just go just like that. You know the y-intercept. Another thing, A is positive, correct? So which way is this graph going? It's opening up, okay? It's opening up. So we know that. And it's also wide, by the way. It's going to be more like this. It's going to be like a flatter bowl rather than like a cup of water. Let's put it that way, okay? All right, so let's graph this thing. I typed it in. I'm going to try zoom standard, see how that goes. I'll show you some other zooms pretty soon, actually. You can use any of the zooms if you'd like to use them. Okay, they're all there for you to try them. Zoom 6 doesn't really do a good job. So you can either chase the curve already, or you can do zoom fit. Okay, I'm going to zoom. I'm going to press 0 because that's zoom fit. And it still doesn't do the trick for me. All right, so you have to do some work. Press window. I'm going to increase my X max on the right side. So I'm going to go 50. That's pretty good. I see it coming back up here. So I've got that x-intercept, the y-intercept. I still need the vertex. So what do I need to change? Y-min. I'm going to double it. There we go. That is a pretty good graph. I can live with that. I see everything. Okay? So just one more time for you to see what my window settings are. There they are. Okay, so now, to find the vertex, I need to press buttons, right? You can't just figure it out like that. Most of ours are non-factorable. So if you factored in grade 10, you were finding the x-intercepts by doing that, okay? Second trace, not intersect, vertex. That's also not right. We're finding the vertex. This is what? The minimum. Yeah, sorry. I need more coffee, I guess. Second trace, minimum. I got to go to the left of it, hit enter anywhere to the left, go to the right, hit enter anywhere there, enter again. So there it is, 21.25. Is it positive or negative? That's always what you got to make sure you get the right sign. It's positive, and this is the y coordinate is negative 28.06. Okay, so that is the coordinate. That's the address to the vertex. At that point, the parabola changes trajectory. It turns. Okay. Down the road. Okay, down the road. Listen up to this part. I'm kind of foreshadowing what's going to happen. Down the road, this will be something other than just x and y. This will be like after 21.25 seconds, right? This bird went underwater and went like 28 feet underwater to like catch a fish, right? Then comes back out. So these are actually going to mean something to us. They're going to have units attached to them, okay? So if the question asks you, what's the lowest point this bird ever reaches? You would say it goes 28 feet underwater or something like that, okay? So that's coming down the pipe, okay? X-intercepts. I need to let y2 equal to 0. And I'm going to go second trace intersect. Okay? I let y2 equal to 0. Second trace 5. You go, look at this. I'm just a bit closer to this one. That's all that you need to do. You hit enter 3 times. It's going to go to that one. Okay? Negative 5.24. 0. Okay? Then the next one, second trace 5. I'm going to go, here's another trick of the trade. This is going to speed up your time by 0.5 seconds maybe. If you go arrows up or down, you're jumping to another curve. So if you want to travel on that one, instead of going the long way, you can do that. So you just jump up or down. and then hit enter 3 times. That's 47.74. Okay? So there you have everything you need to graph. So here's the y-axis. Here's the x-axis. Okay? And we need to come up with a proper scale. X-intercepts. It goes from -5 to almost 50. So you need to make sure you account for that. This is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's what I'm going to use for my x scale. And this is -10, -20. That's good enough. For your y variables, okay, you go as low as 28. So this could be 10, 20, 30. That works just fine. -10, -20, -30. And this goes up to also up by 10. Okay? And there you go. Okay, so that's a good scale. So now I plot the points. -5.24 is somewhere there. 47, this is 45, so 47 is somewhere there. These are my x-intercepts. 0, -10 goes right there. That's my y-intercept. And then the vertex is 21.25. And then I'm going -28. Okay? So you graph your curve as follows. You need to have both legs on there. Okay? If you don't have both legs on your graph, it's not going to be good enough. Okay? And you follow it up with your equation. Okay? There we go. So you get 3 marks for, let's talk marks here. You're going to get 3 marks for the graph. Okay? One of them is going to be your scale. You need an appropriate scale, so you need to go up by the same amount on the x and the y. One is going to be for labels, so that includes labeling x, y, the equation. I would even say you have to have arrowheads everywhere. Okay, those are the things that I'm looking for. And last but not least is shape. And by that I mean the points have to be in the appropriate location. Okay? All right. So 3 marks there for the graph. For the y-intercept, you're going to get 1. For the vertex, you're going to get 1. For the x-intercepts, you're going to get 2 because there's 2 that you're finding. Okay? That is a total of 4 for the points and 3 for the graph. So this page is worth 7. Okay? This page is worth 7. All right, the back side. Given this graph, you want the coordinates of the vertex, so I'm assuming you know where everything is. The vertex is right there. So this is -21.25, 8.06. That's it. 1 mark for that. The vertex of the x-intercept or the x-intercepts, the first one is -35.440. The next one over here is the next one is -7.050. Okay? The coordinates of the y-intercept is 0, -10. It comes right from here, right, where it crosses the y-axis. What would the sign of A be for the graph pictured? A would be negative, right? Or you can just write negative, that's fine. How many x-intercepts can a quadratic function have? It can have 0, 1, or 2. It doesn't say what's the maximum, it says how many are possible. So you can have 0, 1, or 2. Be specific, that's what I mean with be specific. What's the degree of a quadratic function? It's always 2. So whether you look at the shape being a parabola, or if you have an equation, y is equal to x squared minus 3, anything like that, right, gives away that the degree is 2. The degree is the highest exponent in that equation. That determines the degree of the function. That determines how it's going to behave ultimately. Okay?